Greetings, loyal subscribers and honoured guests. I just wanted to put up a very brief, sort of 5 or so minute video today, which is a sort of update of my progress that I've been making with JRPG July. As you want to know if you saw my sort of introductory video for this, I chose 2 games to focus on. The first being Nostalgia on the Nintendo DS, which is the footage you're seeing here that was captured with me playing the game on my modded Wii U. And the other game I chose was Wild Arms 5 on the PS2, which in all likelihood I'm not going to get to this month, but I'll keep it on the list of stuff to play quite soon, and I will play through it finally and put up a review. And the plan is to review Nostalgia properly once I finish it as well. But for now, I just want to say what I thought of the game so far. So I put about just over 10 hours into the game, and about 4 hours into it I looked up a couple of reviews because I wanted to see what other people thought of the game at the time, and I found a couple. I found one from CGR Undertow, and I found one from Game Trailers, and I pretty much agree with most of the stuff that the CGR Undertow review said, but I do take issue with a few things that Game Trailers said. So basically, the CGR Undertow said the game was okay, but it's fairly generic as a JRPG goes. It doesn't do much that you haven't seen elsewhere, and the frequency of the random battles could be quite annoying. And yeah, it's just sort of your fairly standard turn-based Japanese RPG, really. And I agree with all that, but chances are, if you're going to pick up and play this game now, you're going to know what you're getting into beforehand. So the clue's in the name, really. Nostalgia is not just to do with it being set in a past period of airships and all of that. It's really nostalgia for a bygone sort of style of game, really, because these really traditional turn-based JRPGs have kind of fallen out of favour in recent times, and even when this game had first come out, they weren't all that popular anymore, and people were moving away more and more from turn-based battles to battles where you could see the enemies roaming the dungeons. So yeah, it is a very old-fashioned game in that sense. As for the frequency of the turn-based battles, I wouldn't say it's any more. It's much worse than any other game of this type, really. As you can see, I'm running in circles here. This is me grinding out some levels because I was a bit low level going into this dungeon. So, and it took me quite a few circles to trigger a random battle there. So I wouldn't say it's any worse than any other sort of Final Fantasy or other game of this type. So, and I want to address the things that Game Trailers said next. So they said, for the most part, the difficulty was manageable until you hit a certain point, and then there's a sudden massive difficulty spike and a bunch of bosses back to back, and I think I've just hit that point, and I didn't really find it very difficult at all. Let me just skip somewhere else in this video if I can. I need to highlight it. Sorry, still not very au fait with OBS. So let's skip on. Yeah, this is the overworld, so let's just watch this for a second. That's me going right back to the same place I've just come from. This is further into the mine, so let's watch this a little bit, because at least I won't be running in circles quite so much. So yeah, I haven't found it difficult at all during the first 10 hours really, but I have been taking time to do all the side quests in between the main dungeons, which is really my biggest gripe about this game so far, because all of the side quests basically send you back into dungeons you've already done to find random monsters. Well, they're not random, but to find monsters that have been put in the dungeon that are sort of mini bosses associated with the side quests, and you just go there, kill them, and then you come back and turn in the quest for EXP and money and items maybe. So the side quests are not very interesting, and some of them have been sort of go off to 4 different dungeons and find 4 different creatures and kill them, or ingredients for cooking, that sort of thing. So yeah, the side quests just aren't interesting at all. So yeah, I don't think it is a difficult game as long as you've been doing side stuff and you're at the right sort of level. And because it is an RPG, even if you were to face difficulties with certain bosses, you can always just grind out for experience. So I don't really think their criticisms are well founded in that regard. But otherwise, I think the graphics are decent but unremarkable. Final Fantasy 3 and 4 came out on the DS before this game by the same developers. And this really hasn't added too much in terms of graphics. It's about on par with those, I would say. It's not to say it looks bad, it just doesn't make many advances on top of what those games did. I've been talking for almost 7 minutes already, so I won't take too much longer. I'm probably, I don't know, about a third of the way through the story, but I think the amount of side stuff is going to increase exponentially after the next couple of dungeons. So I'm not sure whether I really want to do all of the side quests really, because they are boring. Before I finish, I just want to wrap up the my thoughts on the comparisons to Skies of Arcadia, because this game was sort of sold as a spiritual successor to Skies of Arcadia, and it has got the sort of airship battles and discoveries, although they call them world treasures in this, where you're just going off and finding sort of mythological ruins or things like Skara Brae or El Dorado, stuff like that. So it has got similarities to Skies of Arcadia, but it's not nearly in the same league, I don't think. The story isn't as good, the characters aren't as interesting, the writing isn't as well done. So yeah, there are superficial similarities with Skies of Arcadia, but really, if you're hoping for another game just like that, then you will be disappointed, I think. But I am quite enjoying it. I don't play too many games as old school as this nowadays, so going back to this has kind of been like a refreshing change of pace, really. So yeah, as I said, I got through about 10 hours of the game over the course of 1 week. I'll probably get roughly another 10 hours done this week, and I don't know if I'll finish the game entirely by the end of July, but I'll just keep going until I'm done with it. I am playing it on my TV at home, so I'm not playing any of it portably. I've been capturing footage for most of the stuff that I've played, but I probably will not capture some of it, the more sort of grinding side quest stuff, and I'll concentrate on just capturing new dungeons that I go into. So anyway, let's call this the end of the video. I'll keep it at about 10 minutes in total, including an outro. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week for another update, maybe probably shorter, because I won't have much to add really, but I haven't already said here. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.